According to Wikipedia, media sharing occurs through online social networks and digital communities with a comprehensive platform and diversified interfaces to aggregate, upload, compress, host, and distribute images, text, applications, videos, audios, games, and new media. It's the interactive process of sending via email, instant message, text message, posting, or linking to media on a website or blog and other methods of sharing media to a targeted audience. As media is shared, it takes on a variety of different contexts and meanings. Media sharing sustains social networks, web-based communities, and other digitally supported relationships. It's a communication process that requires the participation of both the sender and receiver. Media sharing platforms that are most popular are user-friendly, highly accessible, and include mobile devices such as cell phones, PDAs, and computers. While media sharing encompasses much of the social networking, it focuses mostly upon video and photo sharing. One of the first media sharing devices, and certainly the most successful, has been YouTube. Purchased by Google in November of 2006 for $1.65 billion, it now operates as a subsidiary of Google. Before being sold in July of 2006, YouTube announced that 65,000 videos were being uploaded daily with 100 million video views per day. In November of 2008, YouTube reached an agreement with MGM, Lionsgate, and CBS to show full-length films and television episodes. In May of 2010, YouTube reported it was serving more than 2 billion videos a day, and a year later, the site has received more than 3 billion views per day. A major benefit to real estate agents and the public came in February of 2009 when YouTube announced that its own method of downloading its videos to users' own computers and or video players. This became a huge benefit to allow instructional and educational videos to be downloaded as well and then be put on the agent's computer for presentation to the public at large. Actually, to get to the heart of the history of media sharing, we have to go back 30 years. Social media didn't start with computers. It was born online, on the phone online. Phone phreaking, or the rogue exploration of the telephone network, started to gain momentum in the 1950s. Phone phreaks weren't motivated by fraud, but rather they were technophiles and information addicts trapped in a telecom monopoly long before Skype or the free nights and weekends existed. Calling a friend in another state could rack up $40 an hour of a charge. These early social media explorers built boxes, homemade electronic devices, that could generate tones, allowing them to make free calls and get access to the experimental back end of the telephone system. Phreaks, by the way spelled P-H-R-E-A-K-S, sniffed out telephone company test lines and conference circuits in order to host virtual seminars and discussions. The first real blogs or podcasts took place on hacked corporate voicemail systems called cold lines, where phone phreaks would hack into unused mailboxes and set up shop until they were discovered and kicked out. You'd call a corporate 1-800 number, enter an extension, and hear recorded audio broadcasts packed with social greetings and useful phone phreaking content. Hacked calling card codes to make free calls bridges, which would be basically audio conference call lines, and plugs for other code lines. You could leave your comments and information as a voicemail, and the phreak would likely respond to you in his next update. I know this is all rather techie stuff, but this is how this all got started, the whole BBS system. The first BBS, or electronic bulletin board system, was developed, finally, and was opened to the public in 1979 by Ward Christensen. The first BBSs were small servers powered by personal computers attached to a telephone modem where one person at a time could dial in and get access. BBSs had social discussions on message boards, community-contributed file downloads, and online games. The early BBSs had no colors, no graphics, but with the advent of MS-DOS 3.0, a predecessor of HTML called ANSI was used to make colors and underground online artwork. Prodigy offered a clean-shaven, moderated social networking environment in the early 90s. Online services like Prodigy and CompuServe were the first large-scale corporate attempts to bring an interactive social online experience to the masses. Online services rose in popularity concurrently with the BBSs and catered to a more corporate and mainstream home user kind of set. They offered a safe, moderated environment for social networking and discussions. CompuServe was infamous for the high-cost $6 per hour plus long-distance telephone charges, which added up to sometimes $30 an hour. But it offered the first online chat system called the CB Simulator in 1980. The first real-life wedding from a couple who met via real-time internet chat happened shortly thereafter and was featured on The Phil Donahue Show. Prodigy launched nationwide in 1990, growing quickly in popularity for its color interface and lower cost. AOL brought up the social features on the web into the mainstream. Later, America Online, or AOL, gained critical mass with aggressive CD promotions and direct mail campaigns. AOL also did one of the most epic product placements of all time in the 1998 film You've Got Mail, starring Tom Hanks, bringing social online culture and romance into the Hollywood mainstream. The Internet existed since the late 1960s as a network, but the World Wide Web became publicly available on August 6, 1991. By the late 1990s, Internet forums grew in popularity and began replacing Usenet and BBSs as the primary nexus for topical discussions. People have been addicted to tweeting their real-time status updates using hashtags and @ signs for over 20 years. IRC, or Internet Relay Chat, was created in August of 1988 by Jarko Arkonian. It was notably used to break news on the Soviet coup attempt during the media blackout and keep tabs on the First Gulf War. Many people stayed logged into IRC constantly, using it to share links, files, and keep in touch with their global network, the same way Twitter is used today. IRC clients were primarily Unix-based, but in 1996, 4 Israeli technologists invented the Instant Message, or IM system for desktop computers called ICQ. This was quickly purchased by AOL and it became a mainstream hit. IM technology helped develop the emotional lexicon of social media with avatars, abbreviations for smiley faces, frowny faces, and so forth. The Summer of Music in 1999, well, that was Napster's debut and had some exciting time for music consumers. Napster, a peer-to-peer file sharing application that went live in June of 1999, marked a radical shift of distribution power from record companies to the consumer. I'll never forget the unprecedented technological thrill of downloading an album in MP3, burning it to a CD, and then to an external drive, and playing it in my car. Music started to freely flow across the internet at an astonishing pace, stripped of hype and payola on the merit of real people's tastes and personal collections. The online music party raged through 1999 and 2000, just like the tech stocks, until it was declared illegal, and Napster was forced to filter out all the copyrighted content. Competing peer-to-peer applications like LimeWire took Napster's place until BitTorrent technology arrived and provided a robust, centralized way to share files without being blocked. The Swedish website, the Pirate Bay, became a cult online destination for social media distribution. Not that this was legal, of course. The first social networking website was 6 Degrees, which let people make profiles and connect with friends in 1997. This type of interactive social web application style became popularly known as Web 2.0, and it really gained momentum from Friendster around 2002 to 2003, followed by MySpace in 2004 to 2006, and then finally Facebook starting in 2007. Slashdot got famous for generating tons of traffic and buzz around its editor-picked stories, but the modern social news revolution took off when Dig gained critical mass in late 2006, and sites like StumbleUpon and Reddit followed. Delicious became popular as a way to share bookmarks of static pages. The big trend on the web is moving away from static pages and into real-time stream of status updates on what is hot and happening right now. The iPhone was the tipping point for hardware, a functional mobile web browser after a decade of delayed hopes and false promises from other manufacturers. Location-based social networking sites like Brightkite allow people to use their mobile devices to check in at public locations and be seen by other networking members who are physically close by, and let people to transcend the awkward social taboos against interacting with strangers in public places.